Klaus, thanks so much for sitting down with me. We're here at the ISF World Seed Congress in beautiful Barcelona. We're here in the trading floor and we're hearing a bit of background noise, but that should be okay. Klaus, I'm hearing a lot in the media and social media channels a lot about sustainability. How important is it for a seed company to work on sustainability?
Yeah, that's correct. Sustainability is really high on the agenda everywhere, in companies, politicians, and in society. And obviously, it is also very important for the seed companies. And I do believe that most seed companies have a strong focus on sustainability in what they do today. But the good thing is, there's a lot we can contribute to this agenda in the seed sector.
Okay, that's great. But your company, DLF, what are you doing about sustainability?
Well, we have a very strong strategic focus on sustainability in what we do. So, I mean, for a start, when we talk about environmental sustainability and climate impact, we have a very good starting point. Mm-hmm. Our key crops are turf and forages, so mainly grasses and clovers. And these species are perennial, meaning the need for soil management is very limited compared to other crops. They have a long growing season, meaning they have a long period where they can capture energy from the sun and build it into carbon. They have big root systems, so they can sequester a lot of carbon in the soil. And the need for input fertilizers and chemicals is compared to maize and cereals, for instance, is really much lower. There's hardly any nitrogen leakage from a grass field. So we have a green portfolio already, you can say. And then when we look at our breeding and product development, sustainability is an integrated part in our breeding. And a lot of the traits that we are breeding for and have done for many years have a direct link to sustainability. That includes we are breeding for disease tolerance and abiotic stress tolerance, drought, salt tolerance. We are breeding for low input. So it is really integrated part in the product development we make today. And even you can say breeding for increased yield and forest quality has a direct impact on sustainability. If you have to use a small spot of land to produce 1 liter of milk, there's a direct impact on sustainability. And then I want to mention two strategic platforms that we have been initiated directly targeting sustainability. And the one is on root. So some years ago, we decided that we need to know more about what's going on below the ground. Okay. At that time, it was a black box. Nobody really knew what was happening down there. So together with Danish universities and other Danish breeding companies, we took an ambitious initiative to build a large root screening facility, a very advanced facility where we can screen at the same time hundreds of breeding lines. And at the same time, we have cameras that go 3 meters deep in the ground, so we can follow the root growth over the season. So we now have to select plants that have the longest roots or the fastest growing roots. Mm-hmm. So we have now a system where we can select and breed plants with improved drought tolerance, increased uptake of nutrients, and carbon sequestration in the soil. So it's a really fantastic tool we have here that all are directed at sustainability. And the other thing I want to mention is homegrown green protein. Okay. Yeah. Another thing we are now engaged in a number of projects to produce proteins from grasses and clovers, not just for cattle, for the cow, but also for monogastric animals, meaning pigs and chicken. And we are also co-investing in a biorefinery pilot plant in Denmark. And the concept is to extract proteins from grasses and clovers and feed them to these animals. So a sustainable way to produce protein and reduce the need for imported soy from South America and elsewhere. And there are different fractions in this. We have the protein we feed to the animals, and then there are the pulp that we can feed back to the cows, or we can go some fraction for biogas production, and now also developing side streams for packaging materials and insulation, etc. And the big ambition is also that this grass protein can be used for human consumption one day. So there's a lot of new exciting developments here that we are deeply engaged in.
Very exciting developments indeed. Yes. To come back to your facility, I believe it's called Radimax.
Yes.
And it was that innovation that made that DLF was elected to the 20 most climate-friendly companies.
Indeed.
Of last year. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're pretty proud about that. Yeah.
And what I also remember is you mentioned the grass protein for food, for human food. Yeah. And I read the other day that you termed a new type of vegetarian, the pastutarian, right? That is, I heard it first in a DLF text, so I thought that was very interesting. I look forward to the first grass burger, the real grass burger. Why not? Yeah. In your reply, you also mentioned the fuel and the fertilizer, high fertilizer prices, and those are of course among the massive challenges that farmers are facing, that the seed sector are facing. Are there other challenges besides the high fuel and high fertilizer prices?
Well, doing all this, there is one big challenge, that is the breeding takes time. So it easily takes 8 to 10 years or even more to breed a new variety. Mm. And we need to move fast now, because we see these climate extremes coming more often. Drought, flooding, we see diseases spreading much faster than in the past. So to keep up with that, we really need to move fast in the development on these new products. We have number of years ago implemented genomic selection in our breeding platform, meaning we can now faster and more efficient select the best genetics and develop varieties faster. But there are other tools that we cannot use today. And then, of course, I'm talking about genome editing, that due to the situation about is it a GMO or not, making us and many other companies certainly hesitating to take up that technology. And it's really vital that we get all the tools because we have a big battle in front of us. And politically, we are under pressure to produce more and less. We have the green agenda, farm to fork strategy in Europe. So there is a pressure on land use. At the same time, we should produce more with less input. So there's a lot to deliver, and we need the tools to do it for sure. Mm-hmm. And another challenge is that, well, I think there is a growing recognition that breeding and improved varieties are extremely important, and there's also recognition how much we have achieved over the last centuries, we can say. But we also need to be better to measure the effects. Mm-hmm. So we know, for instance, that the roots are very important, and we know that the grasses can play a big role in capture carbon and store it in the soil. Mm-hmm. But we certainly need methods and tools to measure it in the field. Mm-hmm. So we are asked to implement technologies and solutions, but to quantify it, we need more data and we need the methods to do it properly. Mm-hmm. So we need to initiate research projects among universities and other stakeholders to have that whole system up running, so we can really measure and quantify the right solutions to be on the right track.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's quite a number of challenges. Yeah. But I heard you say also achievements. And, a lot of people are talking about very exciting times, the golden age of plant breeding and gene editing. So that comes with a lot of opportunities. Also, where do you see the opportunities, the biggest opportunities in the seed sector at the moment?
Well, see that we will be, well, like, it all starts in the field. We are the first step in the food chain. So it starts in the field and it starts with the seed.
Absolutely.
So we do have a great possibility to make major contribution to what we need to do to feed the growing population. We now have a food crisis, etc., etc. So if we can have access to the right tools, if we have a legal framework allowing us to move ahead, seed laws and everything, and if we can have some support, some resources to build up the systems and the knowledge systems and the monitoring system, measuring systems, we can do the job. I'm absolutely sure we will be a major player in contributing to solving the problems that are ahead of us.
Very important goal. Good luck with that, Klaus.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.